Hey folks, today is Tuesday, March 5th, 6:44 a.m. And today is probably going to be a bit of a short video. I just want to talk about some of what I'm observing. And then we'll talk about what happened yesterday. I'm just noticing that the markets seem to have some cycles going on. And maybe they happen all the time, but I'm just noticing them now. Where there might be a period of consolidation or of choppy behavior that turns into breakouts, and then it goes back into consolidation or choppy behavior, and it kind of happens over and over again. Some periods can be longer, some can be shorter, but the moments to actually buy are when those longer periods or just those periods of choppy behavior in general resolve themselves to the upside. Like in October to December, there was this really choppy period that went on. Then there were breakouts. So Netflix broke out, Square broke out, and I have several of them: Palo Alto, Paycom, MongoDB, ANET. There were just a lot of these consolidations present, really long ones, like more than 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, that kind of length of time, then breakouts. What I've noticed is if you miss those entries and then you see like bull flags or smaller pennants or even a smaller consolidation that might be later in the uptrend after the breakout of the bigger consolidation patterns, that those entries don't seem to work that well. There just seems to be a lot more volatility in them. It's more likely that the breakout would fail or that the stock would move up and come back. It just ends up being a lot more challenging. So right now, I think we're hitting a point where the S&P, for example, and I'll show you here. You can see the futures are green for today, but I don't think they matter today. You can see where the S&P had gone up for a good period of time, and now we're definitely hitting a resistance point here, right there, and that was created last year in October to December. I don't think the market's going to get over that right now, or if it does, it might fail it. I think we need to pull back, and so especially right now, I'm not buying anything. I'm going to be wait to see what happens, wait to see how this thing reacts at this level. If we pull back more, if we just go sideways, I'm not sure what's going to happen. So I'm going to be waiting and seeing at this point. I'm not buying anything more. But I guess I'm just learning this for the first time, that how these cycles work. I've noticed in previous periods of trading that there are periods where you can see these bull flags form, even smaller ascending triangles, pennants, things like that, and they don't work out very well. But I just went through, we just went through this October-December period, and then when a bunch of stuff took off, I showed them all here, they worked, and they worked really well. But then you get later in this trend, and you try to enter on different things, and they just don't work. So my thought here is that we need to wait. I guess I'm just catching this, for me personally, especially right now where the S&P is. Need to wait for it to resolve over this resistance point or pull back and make a bigger consolidation of some kind. Just see what's going to happen. But the market needs to pull back before I'm going to consider anything more to enter at this point, because I just see things that aren't working. So let's go through my list here, the day list. I'll just show you. See, I just showed you the S&P and how late we are in that uptrend. For example, this guy, COUP, had consolidation down here, moved up, and then created a new one. Late cycle, as far as I'm concerned, late in this trend, and up against the resistance on the S&P, and it failed, which is what happened yesterday. It failed, broke out, and tanked, right? So it just bailed out. Everybody bailed out of it. There were no buyers to bring it up. There's no buyers really to drive this market higher right now, or any of these individual stocks. You can see it all the way across these. Trade desk didn't quite get over that line, but sold down. YNDX was a little different. It's a Russian stock. I'm not sure if that makes any difference, but It didn't have a ton of volume on the day either, but it did close above. Square, really bad. It had an ascending triangle until the earnings came out, which drove it back into the triangle, and then it rallied, and then it sold off, and now it's selling off more. Even broke through the ascending line there. It's not even holding that line anymore. CGC still in the pattern. Nucor still in this pattern also. Tesla is just a disaster at this point. And then REGN went up. It's holding the line, but again, you can see what's happening in these other ones. I wouldn't be looking to hold on to that or anything. Sorry. But yeah, and if I look at Square, for example, I can kind of demonstrate this, what I'm noticing. This big long period of consolidation where it rolled over and it took off. You can see, you know, how many green bars there are out of this. Green, 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 green. There's a little ascending triangle, which I did trade because I could stop out down here. But then green, 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 up we continue to go, right? And then post that afterwards, this mess looked like an ascending triangle here, trended up a little bit, then earnings hit, and it's all messy. But the main thing is if you were in down here, look at how well off you'd be. I mean, as far as comfort level on the trade, you know, you're just kind of in. You know, you get your stop down here, you move your stop to here, and it never touches it. You know what I mean? This is just something I'm learning, you know. I've been watching the market for years and years and years and just trying to put this whole thing together, and I understand how difficult this process is. But I'm learning these new things, and I'm realizing that if you focus on the market in this way, and you're only looking for these really nice big consolidations to buy out of, you really won't make that many trades. You're not going to. Since you're going to get in at those are like the best possible moments to get in, where the most likelihood is there that that stock is going to have the momentum to keep climbing out of that pattern. I mean, you could even still be in Square now if you were in from here. Even after yesterday, look at the distance you have from here to here in price. You know, you might not want to do that because you want to take profits out or whatever. And remember, the goal is to just make money, right? It's not just to be right or prove that you're right. It's just to make money, close the trade profitable. So really, you probably only want to be from here to here and get out, because this gap down was crappy. Or you could have stayed in that and it would have built its way back up and you get out right before earnings. That's what I'm noticing anyway. The best moments to get in is after these long consolidations. This is late after that move where it probably needs to pull back, and you could see on the index that would be your reference point. You know, it's hitting a resistance too, which means it's going to be pretty hard for it and other stocks to continue to climb higher if the indexes are slamming against resistance, you know, and then not able to get over or just getting sold back down. Netflix is the same. I'm talking about these two a lot, only because I can really see what happened on their charts. This is December into January. Nice big long consolidation, and it broke out. And look at the momentum that took it higher. And then as it got later, like now, where the S&P's already gone up, hitting this resistance point, and now look what we're getting. This is a rising wedge. So you could have, this was earnings in here. I got into this here and got out up there. And then earnings, I don't like holding over earnings, so I got out. But the price would have continued to climb back up, but now it's starting to roll over. So this is a rising wedge, and it is rolling over here. So you could have potentially short that. I don't like shorting. I prefer to wait, let everything pull back. I mean, unless the market is like totally bear market, you know, like 2008, 2009, where just nothing's going to go up. But, you know, it's rolling over that. So it's not going to get any higher if it's doing this, right? So this trade is finished, unless you're going to go short there at this point and hope that everything continues to kind of break down a little bit more, which I think we actually are going to. I actually hope it does. I want to see a pullback because I want to see this kind of thing form. I want to wait a month. I want to wait a month and a half. Let this form, because those are the best opportunities. That's what I'm noticing. I just reviewed the lister. I'm simply not buying anything now. I really want to wait, and I want to test this theory out. I think I've seen this over and over again, and I'm just now realizing that there's these cycles of longer period of consolidation. The market pulls back, and then everything starts to move. So I'm going to be waiting to see what happens here. So I'll keep reviewing. These videos will keep going. We'll just keep watching the indexes and stuff and see what happens. But that's kind of what I'm saying. It's what I'm learning. So yeah, next video will be tomorrow. Hope these are helpful. Have a good one.